Hey guys, Liv here from naturallymademom.com, and today we're going to be talking about calming activities that you can do with your toddler to help them get to sleep better. Toddlers are in a really interesting place in life because they are just so aware of what's going on around them. They're learning and they're growing and they're just loving every second of life. It is such a joy to watch, but they oftentimes don't want to shut down at night. It's time to go night. As a parent, you need some alone time. It's important to spend time with your spouse, to get some me time and accomplish your own personal goals. About a month ago, we moved back in our home from a summer of RVing, and our son went from sleeping in the corner of a little room to a big room with a large toddler bed. And I think it was really intimidating for him because we've been on the real struggle bus when it comes to sleep. If your toddler is having a hard time going to sleep, I have 9 tips of calming activities that you could go through each night with them that'll help bring their minds from a place of excitement of the day down to a more peaceful place ready to go to sleep. All right, the first tip is to turn electronics off at least an hour before bed. We let our son watch about an hour of TV a day, and I usually try to do this while I'm making dinner. It just allows me to go through that process, and he'll play while he watches TV. Studies have shown the blue light emitted from electronics can be overstimulating for kids, and it can be associated with poorer quality of sleep. And although family movie nights are definitely important to have, we should be trying to limit electronics before they go to sleep. So some of the ways you can do this is to just make a hard, fast rule. Let's not do any electronics after dinner. Instead, we'll do time together with the family, whether that be going on bike rides, walking to the park, just being outside together and wrestling, practicing fishing. There's just so many activities that you can do. I'm gonna link down to the blog post that goes along with this video, and in that post I have a list of ideas of things to do after dinner to entertain that don't involve electronics. The next tip is to not rush them through bath time. Not every single night do we give our toddler a bath, but since he's a boy, we have found that most nights he at least needs to get in the water and rinse off. Something I started to do lately is to just stop rushing him. Instead of putting a time limit on bath, I just let him freely play in the bath.
Don't push. Don't parents. Don't step up.
Tip number 3, add Epsom salt or magnesium flakes to their bath. Magnesium is one of the most vital minerals that we can have in our body. It's used for our heartbeat, our nerves, our muscles. And actually most people are usually deficient in magnesium because we just eliminate it in so many different ways. Adding Epsom salt or magnesium flakes to their bath helps calm their nerves down, and it even relieves like sore muscles and things. Tip number 4 is to give your toddler a massage. I love to give my toddler a massage with like my homemade lotions. I add, special essential oils to them, and they're completely non-toxic, made with just shea butter and coconut oil to help nourish their skin and calm them down. I think a lot of the times it's hard to get toddlers to sit for a massage, but just remember that your touch is soothing to them, and even if it only lasts for 30 seconds, some is better than nothing. A lot of the times I'll put a book on the bed, or I'll put a toy on the bed, and I'll have him play with that while I massage him, or I'll even give him some lotion and tell him to participate. I'll say, okay, massage your belly, and then he'll get involved, and it's just that tender, soothing touch is super important to make that connection with them, and it works in ways that we can't even really understand. Tip number 5, diffuse lavender essential oils. Lavender essential oil has been studied to have analgesic and calming effects on the human mind. I put it in our room all the time before bed, and just the smell of it can help me just feel more calm, and it works well for our toddler. I don't always remember to put it in his diffuser before we start the reading and book time, but when I do, it gives it that chance to like marinate and work on him. So I definitely recommend, getting a diffuser in their room and trying lavender essential oil if you're having a particularly hard night getting them to sleep. Practice bedtime yoga. If you have a really active toddler and they just want to jump on the bed and play with their toys and they don't want to sit and listen to a book, then one thing that we love to do is bedtime yoga. We have this cool little storybook that we can flip through the pages and we can imitate what the characters are doing together. And it's just that one last activity that they can do right before it's time to sit down and be still to get out their energy. Tip number 7. Read books that teach about nighttime. What's interesting about children is they come out as a completely blank slate. And oftentimes I think we underestimate them as adults. We think that they should know why they're doing something, but really we haven't ever taken the time to explain it to them. I like to explain to my son that nighttime is for sleeping, but there are sometimes reasons to stay awake. For example, if you're traveling and you're going somewhere, you might have to stay up late, or there's people who go to work at night like his mommy used to do when she worked in the hospital as a nurse. So I think it helps to just include them on the rationale behind why it's time to go to bed, and books can do a really great job at showing this. Number 8, lay in bed with your toddler and just talk to them. The sound of your voice can be very soothing, and they need that close contact and one-on-one attention with you. I know for myself, I like to talk to my husband before bed and have pillow talk because it just helps me wind down from the day. So taking a few extra minutes and just like talking in a really soothing voice with your toddler will help them start to calm down. Number 9, sing a special song. We've been singing the same song to our son from the moment that we brought him home from the hospital. That song makes a connection with going to sleep for him. And so even though sometimes he will still fight us, he won't want the song, I still try to get through the entire song, even if I'm singing it at his doorway with him telling me to leave or just being kind of fussy. It just getting through it, that process of singing them their special song, helps them associate it's time for bed. Use a white noise machine. I don't like to hear excess noise, and I'm a really light sleeper, so any little sound of cleaning up the dishes and things like that can wake me up. My toddler is the same way, and so when you add a white noise machine or a fan or something like that, it just helps to drown out the sounds of the house. That way you can still feel free to move around and do the things that you want to do without worrying that they're going to hear it and be like, oh, what's going on? So lastly, I just wanted to say that if you've been struggling putting your toddler to bed for weeks and every single night they're screaming and they're crying and you can't seem to leave the room, then just give yourself a break, mama, and let them stay up late. Every once in a while, that's not going to hurt them. I think that we try so hard as parents to do what's best for our children, and getting them to bed on time is extremely important for their health. But sometimes you just need to give yourself a break and let them stay up with you and watch a movie and not worry so much that they're going to be getting sick from staying up, because life is fluid. We don't live in a perfect world, and they need to kind of be able to go rolling with the punches a little bit. I hope these tips help you get your toddler to bed a little easier. Leave me a comment and tell me if one of these have been your favorite suggestion. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
Lettuce and tomatoes. This is a Sunrise Cafe. That's what they're delivering for the